Hi, good morning. My name is Arjit Paul, and I'm the trainer for the Canva course from Uplatz. Today's topic is the essence of graphic design. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the very first day of our exciting journey into the world of graphic design. Today, we are going to lay the foundation for everything you learn in the coming days. Don't worry, if you're new to this, we will be starting from scratch and will build step by step. So, graphic design is an essential skill for anyone who wants to stand out. Whether you're a freelancer, a content creator, or a professional looking to improve your visual communication skill, by the end of this session, you'll have a clear understanding of what graphic designing is, its importance, and some simple principles you can use right away. So, we are going to use all the elements which we can find when it comes to graphic designing. And since this is a Canva course, obviously we are going to start with Canva to unlock all our features and all our graphical interface which we really want to achieve. So Canva is a graphic designing tool which we can use to easily create various kinds of social media posts, infographics, presentations, animations, video, and a whole lot of things. Apart from this, we are also going to infuse AI into this, and we have a dedicated project called Canva Course from which we can have an in-depth knowledge and understanding. We can also have this application from ChatGPT called Canva, and if we go to About, we'll be able to find all the related details related to Canva. So we are not going to use much of this. We'll mostly use OpenAI. We'll use ChatGPT 4.0 to get our understanding. And also, we are going to understand the concept of graphic designing at first. And later, we are going to understand and learn how we can use definitive designs into Canva so that we can infuse, so that we can use all of this in the best way possible. Let me just check my screen. Yeah, it seems fine. So we'll cover this engaging sections into three parts. If we go to this lesson, so first we start understanding what is graphic design, why is graphic design important. We're going to understand visual hierarchy and balance and design in the second section, where we learn how to structure designs to guide attention effectively. And on the third point, we're going to understand the importance of branding and consistent visuals, where we'll understand why branding matters and how consistency creates trust and recognition. So let's dive deep into the first section. What is graphic design and why is it important? For this, we need to understand graphic designing end to end. So let's start by answering a simple question. What is graphic design? So graphic design is nothing but the process of using visuals, colors, shapes, and text to communicate a message. It is about making your ideas come to life in a way that your audience can instantly connect with. In order to understand this, we have some examples like social media graphics, marketing materials, resumes, as well as logos. So, why is graphic designing important? We need to understand this. And first, we need to go to the end to end documentation which we have. So, we have this first section one, which we will definitely have a deep dive into. So, we'll go into our conversation which we were having. right? So this is the course structure. And if we go to Canva course again, we can initially find a new conversation, a new chat, and we see. We copy paste the entire section one, and I say, I'm in day one of my Canva course. Help my learners understand this topic end to end, unique examples. Let's not jump so soon. Let's not jump into Canva so soon. We are going to learn the concepts at first, and then we will have an end to end and deep knowledge of understanding how we can apply these things into our profiles. Maybe this is something which we all needed. It is a very wrong concept, and it is a myth that Canva should only be used for graphic designers or content creators. For me, everyone can use Canva. Everyone can use the capabilities through visual communication and also content creation. So we have a structured approach to deliver this topic effectively, ensuring our learners understand the content thoroughly while also engaging with unique examples. So let's try to understand graphic design first. Graphic design is the art and practice of combining visuals, colors, and shapes and text to communicate a message. Think of it as a storytelling through design. We also have the examples in everyday life where we got social media post where we remember the last so yeah, if I'm just breaking from this, just try to remember the last Instagram ad you swiped upon. That's graphic design grabbing your attention. Even when we go to YouTube Reels, we can see the same thing. We also have the example of flyers, well, the event flyer for the music festival you attended. Graphic design again. Then we got logos. So golden arches of McDonald's or Nike's shoes. That's branding through graphic design. All these examples formulate the concept and the part of graphic design, and it is hidden in day-to-day lives. It is hidden into all these methods. Everything which we see around us in social media is part or somewhere it's related to graphic design. Every product which we see, every logos we create, it is a branding which gets possible through the art of graphic design. So, what is key takeaway? The key takeaway is graphic design isn't just decoration, it is a strategic tool for effective communication. The second part is applications of graphic design, which we need to understand. So, graphic design is everywhere. We can look at where you might encounter it in a daily basis. First, we have applications and unique examples. At first, we have social media graphics, where we consist of Instagram posts promoting a cafe's special menu for Valentine's Day. Then we have YouTube's thumbnail for a workout video titled 10-Minute Fat Burn Challenge. Next part, we have the marketing materials, where we got a brochure for a travel agency showcasing exotic holiday destinations. We have the poster for a charity run with visuals of happy runners. The third point is professional collateral, where a visually appealing resume showcasing skills, and a PowerPoint pitch deck for a startup. The next part is of an interactive prompt, where we can ask our learners to understand the most recent design that caught their eye and share why it stood out. So it's going to be a task which you can always look into this and keep a note. And it's very important to keep a track of what we are learning. So try to understand, try to think of the most recent design which can caught our eye. And if we go into Canva, suppose if we are trying to understand, so this is basically the home which we have. But if we go to something like social media, we see that we have all these options here, right? How we can create amazing types of design, amazing wedding cards, and all these things can be useful and can be used in the best way possible. So if we go to the dream lab, we see what will you imagine today. We have this AI option where we can start inspired with a few words of this text, right? So we see that this option studying integrally detail. And if we just click into this, we can have this idea, right? And we see from description, a stunning, intricately detailed illustration of a majestic castle crafted entirely from delicate pastel pink orchids floating serenely in a soft circular sky, with wispy white clouds meandering lazily around it, rendered in exquisite ultra high resolution, with meticulous attention to textures, luminosity, and atmosphere. Right, this seems very long. Um, Evoking a sense of ethereal wonder as well as enhancement or enchantment, with subtle golden lighting that highlights the castle's intricate architecture and the orchid's gentle petal like details, all set against a subtle gradient backdrop that transitions from pale blue to soft, creamy white. That is really amazing how we can get these informations. And we see that we have few options where we can use, we can inspire all these things with the count of words as well. Similarly, if we go to templates, we see that we have a lot of amazing designs, and the AI also generates and how it can be inspired by our last design. So we see that there are some amazing options over here when we can use the imaginary power of graphic design into getting what we really want. And this is just one example. We just started this new year, so we got Happy New Year events. We got Lunar New Year as well. We got different sorts of presentations related to wedding. And these are amazing forms of graphic, amazing forms of content, which we can create. Just give me one moment. We go to Instagram post, we see that we have so many options of using infographics, of using Instagram post, where we have so amazing, unique designs, animations, and we are infusing basically the power of AI into coordinating, into moderating, and also getting through this amazing designs in the best way possible. Again, we see that there is another card, another design which we have. So this is really premium, and one of the most important parts, one of the most important bits of using Canva is to have then access, is to able to use all these kinds of design and create simple magic. Simple as it's not very complicated and magic, because we are creating so many designs within minutes. So, which brings forward to the next part, applications of graphic design. As you can understand, graphic design is everywhere. Let's look at where you might encounter it daily. So we have the example of applications and unique examples where we got social media graphics. And this consists of Instagram posts promoting a cafe's special menu for Valentine's Day. We have YouTube thumbnail for a workout video titled 10 Minutes Fat Burn Challenge. Next, we have marketing materials, which we contain a brochure for a travel agency showcasing exotic holiday destinations. Then we got the poster for a charity run with visuals of happy runners. We can use all these infusions in the best way possible. Again, if we use the power of AI, I want to see what we come up with. So if we have Dream Lab over here, I have Instagram post promoting a cafe special menu for Valentine's Day. And if we use generate, I want to see what we come up with. And just we can see that it's generating in a matter of seconds. And this is really amazing. Valentine's Day special menu. And just see the amount of design it is making, right? So it is a bakery which sells cakes, um, pizza. So now we just changed this graphic in a matter of seconds. So this was previous what we were getting. And now we have so many amazing options. As we can see, these images are created with AI. Now, if we use this option, we see that we got a Valentine's Day special menu, and all these images have been created with AI. We have just created these images, and we can edit this design, we can copy this image, and we can also download this image. Let's try to download this. It downloads in a JPG format, and if we click into this, we have this amazing created design which we have created in just a matter of seconds. Again, we have this option edit your images with AI, which we can further edit, further enhance. So AI is everywhere, right? You need to learn how to use this, and then you can use this at your own discretion. You can edit this. And see, if we just scroll and if we just hover in the bottom right, we see there is an option called edit. And under edit, if we click into this Canva again, you're just using Canva from a very basic point of view for now. We see that we can use incorporate so many details in Canva where we can push it different kinds of filters. We can have blur effects. We also have some pro features which we will need to upgrade, and we'll do definitely use the Canva Pro when we go to the more advanced sections. So, well, this is first example which we can give. Again, we have YouTube thumbnail for a workout video titled 10-minute fat burn challenge. Let's try to do that now. So I just copy this and we create a separate tab of this. Again, if I go back and if I try to switch back to my home in Canva, we will again come back to our home page. Again, we go to Dream Lab now. And I create this option as well. And as you can see, it uses 1 credit. And as you can see, there are 17 more credit options. So we just wanted to present this option. So if we upgrade to Canva Pro, we can get around 500 credits per month to generate realistic, high fidelity AI imagery that's matched to your brand using Dreamlab. That is really, really amazing. For now, if we go to this thumbnail, we see that this has created such an amazing option. We have 10-minute fat burn challenge, and for each prompt, it will generate 1 credit for all these images. Again, if we use this image, I think this is really great. All the images have been created with AI, and this is an amazing thumbnail which we have got. This can be used for YouTube. We can also use Canva for marketing materials. It can be brochure for a travel agency showcasing exotic holiday destinations, poster for a charity run with visuals of happy runners. So even without AI, we can definitely go and we can capture these information end to end. Then if I go to home, we go to templates, and then if we choose and if we click brochures, we can see we have So many different kinds of brochures which we can use. We have free versions, we have pro versions, and we can filter out all this in the best way possible. Second part is a poster for a charity run with visuals of happy runners. So we can also look for posters for charity run events as well. Right. We look into this further. We see that we have the option of professional collateral as well. So we also have a visually appealing resume showcasing skills or a PowerPoint pitch deck for a startup. As an interactive prompt, we can ask learners to think of the most recent design and understand why did it stood out. And all these things can be very helpful to understand graphic designing in the long run. So the next part which we can understand is why is graphic design important? So graphic design, it's not just about aesthetics. It is an essential skill in today's visual world. We need to understand the reasons why graphic design matters. The first point is it grabs attention. For example, a bold, vibrant Instagram ad for a flash sale. Visuals outperform plain text in engagement rates. The second point is creates a strong first impression with an example, a polished business card versus a plain one. Good design is your brand's handshake. The third point is enhances communication. For example, infographics for a complex topic like how climate change affects us. It is quick, digestible, and engaging. The fourth point is builds trust. For example, consistent use of colors, fonts, and logo across all Starbucks outlets. So consistency is very important. And the way Starbucks logo creates that magic, creates the font of a consistency is very, very important and it's very amazing. So as an activity, we can also do the brainstorm with me section with a scenario that we are opening a small cafe and we need a flyer for our grand opening. What should it include? So we have interactive brainstorming elements with the message, a grand opening, and it can signify some sort of discounts which we are making or which we can try to promote. And as a safe practice, as a best practice, promotion of such events is very important. The second point is colors, where we can choose warm and inviting tones like brown and yellow, which can give us the coffee vibes. For images, we can have a streaming cup of coffee or a cozy cafe setting, and the text can be business name, address, date, and time of the opening. All right. So we can also have a live demonstration. I mean, we have already performed some graphic designing demonstrations, but those were just with the help of AI. We can also use Canva to navigate and have an end-to-end example out of this. So we can go to Canva, we can choose create a design like the steps. So if we go to create a design, we have so many options over here. We have flyers, Facebook post, YouTube thumbnail. So similarly, if we type on flyer, we see that we have so many dimensions of flyer product and it gives us the exact dimension where we can add all our templates. We have, okay, we can also use some other means as well. right? We have flyers, portraits, documentation. I just scroll. I don't need this one now. We can just go to the specific link. So we have YouTube thumbnail, YouTube intro, Twitter post or X post. And if we click over here, we can get the entire design where we can use our template, right? And over here, we have the option of editing. We have default text styles. We can see, and we can add something which we have mentioned over here. So the example headline here, it's given grand opening 20% this week only. Can have something like this in a very simple way. I'm just gonna cross this. And Canva have these virtual rulers which can help us to map the shape, size, and to get the center of the page. We can do this. We can also customize the colors and the fonts. Um, if we go to elements, we can use magic, right? If we use design, we can add all these amazing ways, amazing formulas. So, you know, I want to try to infuse this amazing looking sticker as well. And if we want to achieve such steps, we can also make such amazing choices which get so much contrast in our tone and in our designs. So this is just a pre-made design which we don't really need to generate so much. We can also use the power of templates, and that is what I will encourage. I'll just type grand opening in templates. And now we see we have so many options over here. And this has really saved a lot of time. If we go to customize this template, and I'll just try to increase the size of this, we see that the entire video which can be used. Grand opening with unlimited cafe option. Yeah, something like get flat 20% discount. And that's it. If I just press here, the entire grand opening in the best way possible. We can share this, we can download this, and as you can see the options, we have MP4, SVG. So it is very, very simple to download this and understand this in the best way possible. So we can schedule our post and also use the streamline with content planner. We are going to learn how we can use content planner, create, schedule, publish our social media posts directly into Canva. We're going to do this in our next and more advanced sections. So this is just one example which we have shown. And if we see with just a few seconds, not just minute, for seconds, we have got this entirety of ad at our disposal. We have made edits, we can make n number of changes to this. And this is the best part of understanding amazing graphic design and how it can help elevate your own work. Give me one moment. So there are so many ways of customizing the design. We can change colors to earthy tones. We can use a bold and clear font for the headline. As you can see, if I'm going to the same option, so we have a lot of collections over here in terms of headline. And here we got so many fonts. We got Archive of Black, Carrot, and we can also undo these things if we don't seem to like any one of them. And that is something amazing. As a final touch, we can add the cafe's logo. We can include essential details like location and contact info. So all these things can be used with the help of Canva, and it essentially forms part of graphic design. So we have the interactive exercise where we can brainstorm and design a flyer for imaginary business. It can be a yoga studio, it can be a paid grooming service, a tutoring center. And through this section, through this course, you will have an end to end knowledge of how we are able to make all these things possible. Right. So, as you can understand, graphic design is all about creativity and communications. It helps you connect with your audience visually and leaves a lasting impression. So, in this section, we learned the basics, but this is just the beginning. We can discover our unique style and how we can communicate our ideas in a more efficient manner. Right, this was what we can understand from the first and very detailed section. The second section consists of understanding visual hierarchy as well as balance in design, and it's very important to understand this as well. Say just a graphic design, but understand section 2. So whether you want to be a developer, whether you're into UI UX, it's very important to understand and have the basic knowledge which is possible for a graphic designer. It is something which we can use channelized to the best way possible. Right. So understanding visual hierarchy and balance in design is important. Let's dive into this topic as if we are working on a live project, breaking down these essential design principles with clear examples as well as practical examples. So, we can also try to understand and infuse with the help of videos in form of AI, and Sora has been recently launched, which we can be useful for our end-to-end process, right? If we go to recent, we see all the recent videos which various users have uploaded into Sora. And this is a very intricate part of graphic design as well as very advanced as well. Now, if we click into design, we see sudden wind moves the cloud faster. Just look at the way this is being infused. We can use the same capability you can see that the information which we can present, and this is really amazing. Right, so let's understand what is visual hierarchy. So visual hierarchy is about guiding your audience's eyes through a design in a specific order, ensuring they focus on the most important elements first. So what are the key elements of visual hierarchy? First, we have size. For example, a billboard advertising a new phone. The phone's model name can be Galaxy Pro Max, is the largest font size to grab attention first. We can have the practical tip as well. In Canva, we can make our headlines text larger than subheadings and body text. So the next part is color. An example is sales poster with bright red 50% off text against a neutral background. Red grabs attention instantly. As a practical tip, we can use contrasting colors to highlight our call to action buttons in social media ads. And it can be yellow on black or white on blue, things like that. The next part is position with an example. A restaurant menu where the chef specials are placed at the top or center, ensuring they're noticed first. As a practical tip, in Canva, we can position our most critical design elements like headlines or images at the top center or around the Z pattern that mimics how we read. That is really insightful and it gives us the understanding in the best way possible. As a unique example, we can imagine you're designing an Instagram story to promote a concert. The headline can be Plays Live Tonight, the Jazz Masters in bold and large font at the top. Subtext can consist of ad starts at 8 p.m. in smaller font below. We can also have a call to action where we can use a vibrate button at the bottom center that says buy tickets now. We then move to point number 2.2, which is what is balance in design. So, balance is about creating harmony in your design so it feels complete and pleasing to the eye. We also need to understand the types of balance which exist. Excuse me. So, what are the types of balance? Types of balance, we have symmetry, for example, a wedding invitation with evenly spaced floral borders on both sides and centered text. As a practical tip, we can use grids in Canva to align elements symmetrically for a formal structured look. Again, we have asymmetry, where we got an example, a magazine layout with an image on one side and text on the other. The elements are unequal but feel balanced because of their visual weight. So, as a practical tip, pair a large bold headline on one side with smaller text or icons on the other to create a dynamic yet balanced design. So we can definitely create that option. The third part will be white space, which is the negative space. For example, we have Apple's website, which uses plenty of white space around their product images to draw focus to the product itself. As a practical tip, we can resist the urge to overcrowd your design. Leave space between elements for a cleaner, modern look. For a unique example, we can consider designing a flyer for a yoga studio. We can place an image of a person meditating on one side, add the studio's name and tagline, find your inner peace, on the other side with clean spacing. Use ample white space around the elements to evoke calmness and simplicity. Let's have an activity called Practice Balance. The scenario is let's practice creating balance with simple design in Canva. And we can also look for balanced design as well. If we go to Canva and again, let's make things very simple for now. It's a balance design or the balanced. And this is what we really want to achieve. We have this amazing like profiles. So on each design we can understand what kinds of profile or what kinds of team is involved. So here we have Canva Creative Studio. Instantly we can follow this, and we can understand this post to understand the exact balance which really lies. We can analyze this in an end-to-end way. Let's look into this post, right? Let's try to understand the balance and how this post is having an amazing balance, which is giving this entire post such a nice structure. So, not here, I guess. Let's try here. Explain the balance in this spec. Help us understand how graphic design. Until we get this option, we have some extra examples where we can combine visual hierarchy and balance as well. Uh, okay, so explain both visual hierarchy and balance this pick. Right, if we go to the presentation rather now. So what do we understand from visual hierarchy and balance from this PowerPoint? We can even see how I've maintained the visual hierarchy and balance as well. So for PowerPoints, for presentations, it's very important to arrange elements to guide attention. The key principles are size, color, positioning, and balance ensure designs feel complete as well as harmonious. What is visual hierarchy? We have understood visual hierarchy consists of size, color, positioning. Where size consists of larger elements which attracts more attention. We need to be very careful rather. We cannot just put size and top and consider this, or it will draw all the attention towards those lines. So that's when color comes in. So bright and contrasting colors are important. Here, as you can see in the foreground, we have a bright green, and in the background, we have a darker shade of indigo blue, which is contrasting, and this emphasizes the key elements as well. The next point is positioning, where we can place important elements at the top or center. Similarly, what we can understand is what is balance in design. So balance in design again consists of symmetry, asymmetry, and white space. The symmetry consists of formal and structured design. Asymmetry can be dynamic and creative layouts. White space creates a clean and modern look. This is what we can understand in a very, very brief way, and we can get an end-to-end introduction to symmetry, to design, through the help of this presentation. Right, before going to section 3, let's try to understand this balance and design from the help of this amazing image which we captured from Canva. So balance and design as well as visual hierarchy has been used into this. So the first point is visual hierarchy in the design. So visual hierarchy ensures that the viewer's attention is guided in the intended order. This image excels in visual hierarchy through first size. So the word organic is the largest element in the design, making it the first thing viewers noticed. Its bold font size ensures immediate attention. Again, we got wellness. So wellness follows as the second largest text, naturally leading the eye downward to complete the phrase. So we have organic and then following it with wellness. Supporting text like go for and the tagline below improve your health and nature's wealth are smaller, ensuring that they don't overshadow the main focus. Okay, so we have position. The central placement of organic wellness ensures it's the focal point of the design. We have supporting elements such as product image in the bottom left and tagline at the bottom. They are strategically placed to guide the viewer's eye through the entire composition. The next part consists of font style, where we got clean, bold typography for organic wellness, which creates impact and clarity. The italicized G adds a touch of elegance and draws attention subtly, adding personality to the design. We have the balance in design, the second point. So, balance ensures that the design feels harmonious and visually pleasing. So, this image demonstrates asymmetrical balance effectively, where the first point consists about asymmetry. And so, in asymmetry, what we see the product, a green bottle, is placed on the left side, while um, while the large text dominates the center right. So although these elements are not symmetrical, their visual weight is balanced. The bottle's rounded shape adds softness, contrasting with the sharpness of the text. Then we have white space, where the design uses negative space effectively around the text and product image, avoiding any overcrowding. So this white space helps to make the design look modern, clean, and easy on the eyes. The next part is color balance, where the background colors, which can be gold and green tones, create warmth and complement the organic theme, while the white text provides contrast, balancing the overall palette. The earthly tones of the product harmonize with the natural theme, creating unity between the message and visuals. We also have flow after this, so the design flows naturally from top to bottom. Viewers first notice the large organic wellness, then the smaller supporting text below appears, and finally we have the website at the bottom. Right, so that is what we have in the best way possible. So how does these principles enhance the design? We have visual hierarchy and balance. So in visual hierarchy, it makes the message clear and easy to follow. The viewer knows where to look first, second, and third. Under balance, it ensures the design feels complete, not too heavy on one side and visually appealing. The asymmetry keeps it dynamic, while the consistent theme ties everything together. So, as conclusion, this design is extremely stunning because it integrates visual hierarchy to draw attention and balance to create harmony. Together, these principles communicate the organic wellness theme effectively while keeping the viewer engaged. So we can understand visual hierarchy and balance through a live example, which we have just understood. And AI is helping us to shape and to get such an asymmetrical design to mention context. So how we can get these designs, as you can see with this image, the element of design text has been boldened and the size is largest so that our eyes naturally goes to the right, it understands this. And then obviously the colors, the symmetry is a very contrast to the other side. So if we just split this page, we see that one side consists of text, another side consists of elements. It consists of colors, shapes, And this entire blend is leading to a very unique design. Another point of balance which we can mention. So this is principle of design in posters. So this is one of the most important and amazing posters which we can understand. Um, okay, so why is this flyer so important? I've seen this in so many designs. Again, we can just try to understand this in the third section as well. Right. So as you can see, this design, this flyer visually represents the concept of balance in graphic design and its importance. So as you can see from the flyer, it gets a balance in a minimalistic and artistic way, making it fully not only visually appealing but also conceptually aligning with the theme. So we have use of negative space, we have contrast, where there's a contrast between the lights and the darks. There is the importance of visual hierarchy, colors, and most importantly, shapes. So the last section consists of the importance of branding and consistent visuals. So what is branding? Branding is the identity of a business, product, or person. It is what makes you instantly recognizable to your audience. We can definitely break it down. So we have logo, and under logo we have explanation. So a logo is the face of the brand. It is the visual representation that people associate with your identity. For example, the swoosh of Nike or the bitten apple of Apple is very, very important. It's part of branding. So as you can see and as you can understand, um, let's try to understand this. Right. So yes, it is very much a very important part of branding is to copyright it and to trademark it. So in Canva, we cannot have the direct brands in a way, but we'll be able to understand with example what is branding and how it can help us, right? So such examples are some examples of a competitive and amazing brands, right? So that what we can understand in the best way possible. So as a color palette, we can see colors evoke emotions and they help your audience connect with your brand. For example, we have this option of Coca-Cola, which signifies energy and also excitement. And under all these parts, we can see that our branding is getting highlighted. So that is the color red. Under green, we have Starbucks, which is nature, sustainability. And under blue, we have Facebook, which consists of trust and reliability. So we're going to understand this color, we're going to understand the schemes in the best way possible. That is fine. The later part, we have fonts with an explanation. Typography sets the tone of your brand. It can be bold and modern, elegant and sophisticated, or playful and casual. Again, we see that these are the components, these are the main important parts of branding: logo, color palette, fonts. Example, We can see that Disney uses a whimsical font that reflects fun and magic, while Google uses simple, clean fonts for approachability. So, why does consistency matter? Consistency in visuals is like having a uniform identity. It ensures people can easily identify and trust your brand across platforms. So the first point is recognition, where we have explanation of repeated exposure to the same visual elements, which help people associate them with your brand. Example, think of McDonald's. The golden arches and red and yellow colors are instantly recognizable even without the name. The next point is trust. So, as an explanation, we got professional and consistent visuals which create reliability. And as an example, we have the business with mismatched designs, can be different logos or color schemes, looks unorganized, and can lose credibility. The next and more important point is memorability, where we have visuals that are consistent and easier to recall. For example, the blue and white color scheme of Facebook sticks in our mind because it's used everywhere from the app to the ads. As a demonstration, we can also have a primary color where we can choose colors for our amazing understanding. And this is what we're going to touch up in the next section. So we got, let's see, let's type color wheel. Again, this is what we are getting as color theory. So this is the color theory poster. I think this is fine. You can use such applications for the same poster, right? This is just a basic one which we can use as well. This is not pro. So which sustainable development goals are you committed to? As you can see, this post is amazing because it gives a spin option and all these colors are intended and marked accordingly. So this is what we can understand. Section 3 consists of branding and consistent values, where we talk about all the unique elements which comprises a brand and which makes a brand unique. What is branding? So we got logo, colors, fonts, which are type and which are being used for branding, and the most important elements are used, such as logo, colors, and fonts. Color can be a palette that aligns with your identity. Logo is a visual symbol representing our brand. And fonts can be typography that communicates your tone. We need to understand why consistency matters. So we got recognition, which makes our brand memorable. We have trust, which signals professionalism and reliability. And the next part is efficiency, which reinforces your message across platforms. So as an activity, we can choose three colors: primary, secondary, and accent colors. Second part, we can choose fonts, which can be bold, it can be clean for body text, and we can talk about a tone which we want to convey. It can be a playful, it can be a professional, or it can be a minimalistic post. It's very simple to use such options and to use the more innate features of Canva. And as with time, we will be able to grow further into this and learn this. Here in color, we see that we have this template style. And under style, we can infuse different forms of shades, different colors, different color palettes. So this is where we need to understand, and slowly we are going to master these elements end to end. So this is what I can convey, and this is where I conclude this session. Until then, thank you so much.